Former prosecutor Dan Goldman beat out State Assemblywoman Yulin New by a very slim margin, but he may have to face her again in the general election. Mr. Goldman joins us live this morning to weigh in on the primary day election results and where he goes from here. So good morning and congratulations.
Good morning. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks for taking the time to talk to us. I mean, there were only, about 1,300 votes between you and Yulin New, but you felt comfortable declaring victory last night before the race was officially called. So what made you so confident that you were going to win?
Well, we had at that point, I think, over 1,000 vote lead, and we knew that the early absentee ballots had been in our favor. So there was really no opportunity for anyone to catch us. And so we recognized the reality that the AP and other media outlets realized a couple hours later. And so I was excited to be able to be with so many friends, family, staff, and volunteers and supporters. And it was great to all be together after, a hard-fought 3-month campaign. Where everybody worked around the clock, so it was nice to be able to celebrate with them.
Yeah, and those absentee ballots, some of them are still being counted, and we heard from Yulin New last night, who said that she will not concede the race until all the votes are officially counted. So have you heard from her so far in terms of a concession? Have you spoken?
I have not. The AP called it near 1:00 a.m. last night, so I would hope to hear from her today. But regardless, it was a campaign that I felt very lucky to be with so many qualified and excellent candidates. I guess that happens when there's an open seat, is that a number of people want to jump in who have experience, and certainly the current elected officials who were in the race, I learned a lot from, and I'm eager to work with them to solve our city, state, and country's problems.
Mr. Goldman, before we move on, there was this insider who was telling Pix 11 last night that Ms. New may actually run on the Working Families Party, which would put you guys against each other again in November. Do you have thoughts of this comment?
I don't have any thoughts about that right now. I think what the voters and the other constituents in this district will realize is that we all do have a shared progressive vision for the city and for the state. I think there was some degree of a caricature that was made out for me, and I certainly hope that the voters will see that I am really focused on getting actual results for the progressive ideals that I share with so many people in this district.
So if she does, in fact, run, you've already poured in $4 million of your own money in this race. How much more do you intend to spend of your own money if she does decide to run?
I don't have any idea right now. Honestly, we just won the Democratic primary last night, and that's what we're focused on right now. I am obviously a first-time politician, and I have a lot to learn from the local and state elected officials about what matters to the voters of this district, and that was what I focused this entire campaign on. We ran a positive campaign. We had a positive message throughout, start to finish, which was something that was really important to me, and it is something that I am committed to doing going forward, so that we as a Democratic Party can unify together toward our common interest and shared goals, and really use our energy to try to get results for the people who really need the assistance and need the help.
It was a relatively small voter turnout yesterday in New York, because of the double primary during the summer months. What did you think of turnout overall, and in terms of those who actually showed up to the polls? It was a relatively small number.
Yeah, I mean, look, it was terrible timing for an election, for a date for the election, but also for the campaign, and a very condensed campaign during the summer after another primary. It's about the worst scenario that you could draw up for any election. Obviously, we were all dealing with the same set of circumstances, so it wasn't as if it was unfair, but it was a really unfortunate situation that I hope does not repeat itself. We have to figure out how to get more voters engaged, not make it so difficult for people to get engaged and cast their ballot.
Yeah. Well, you've never been elected or held elected office, but you were the front runner, obviously, in this race heading into the primaries. So what do you think it is that voters are trusting in you to send you to D.C. to represent them?
Well, I've never held elected office, but obviously I have spent time working in Congress and in leading the impeachment investigation. I think people realized that I not only had the skills and experience to stand up to Donald Trump and his Republican Party, but that I brought a fresh, new, and creative perspective and strategy that enabled us to prove that case, but is also going to be incredibly useful and important in pursuing our progressive ideals in Congress. We are going to have to go on the offensive against a bad faith Republican Party. And we're going to have to figure out a new playbook because they are not going to come to the table unless they are forced to do so. And so I think what a lot of voters recognized as I went around to talk to them is that my investigative experience is not only going to be important in protecting and defending our democracy and making sure that Donald Trump doesn't see the Oval Office again, but is also going to be important in order to get results for the vision, the progressive ideals and values that I share with so many in this district.
All right, time is up right now, but I'm sure we'll be talking to you between now and November. Dan Goldman, thank you for being here on Pix 11 this morning after a big night.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right.